Hello, students. Next topic in this chapter number 16, that ozone depletion in the stratosphere. Ozone layer. Ozone, which is found in the upper part of the atmosphere and that we call the stratosphere. Atmosphere, okay, Earth is surrounded by the atmosphere. So that is divisible into four things. Troposphere, which is from the surface, Earth surface, then just above that stratosphere, then mesosphere, and the thermosphere. Troposphere from the Earth 0 to 16 kilometer, stratosphere 16 to 50 kilometer, 50 to 100 mesosphere, and 100 to 500 kilometer thermosphere is there. So ozone, good ozone basically. Ozone is divisible into two types, good ozone and the bad ozone. Good ozone and bad ozone. Good ozone that is present in upper part of the atmosphere, in this one, that's the stratosphere, and the bad ozone that is formed in the lower part of the atmosphere that we call the troposphere. So good ozone and bad ozone is present. Good ozone, remember, that is found in the upper part of the atmosphere, and the bad ozone that is found in the lower part of the troposphere. Now, why we call good ozone and the bad ozone? Good ozone that acts as a shield which absorb the ultraviolet radiations from the sun. Ultraviolet radiation, as you know, that has the ability to directly interact with the DNA and the proteins which are present in living organism, and by that way it once it this UV radiation, okay, that affects this DNA and the proteins, they start breaking the bonds, chemical bonds, and dissociate that molecule, and in this way it causes the injury to the living organism. In case of bad ozone triggers the health problem like the lung diseases, asthma. Okay, these are the examples. So bad ozone triggers the health problems. Good ozone prevent the living organism from the health problems. Right? That's why we call good ozone and the bad ozone. Next, thickness of ozone that is measured by Dobson unit, measured in terms of Dobson unit. Dobson unit, one Dobson unit is equal to 0.01 mm or 1 ppb. Next, the thickness given for ozone layer, that is 300 to 500 Dobson unit thickness of ozone layer. Original thickness, that's a 300 to 500 Dobson unit. Next, polar region in that 0.4 centimeter thickness. Just imagine polar region where actually the ozone hole is created. Ozone layer that get damaged, and now the thickness remain only the 0.4 centimeter and equator 0.29 centimeter at equator. In this ozone depletion in the stratosphere, what is the responsible for that? So mainly ozone gas is continuously formed by the action of UV rays on molecular oxygen. Molecular oxygen, see this is the molecular oxygen here that reacts with the oxygen, okay, free radical, and with the help of UV radiation, it converts into ozone. Ozone gas, for that one thing, ozone formation and degradation, that should be balanced in the stratosphere. But nowadays, one thing, that CFC, one of the gas, that's the CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, which is widely used in refrigerator, air conditioner as a cooling agent. This CFC, when released outside, that is present in the lower part of the atmosphere, then gradually move upward, that reach to the stratosphere. And in stratosphere, where these UV rays are present, so this UV rays acts on this CFC, release the chlorine atom from that. CFC full form, that's the chlorofluorocarbon. One of the example, freon is there. In that, when UV rays acts on CFC, UV rays act, then it releases the chlorine atom. And this chlorine atom degrades ozone releasing molecular oxygen. Now, so in that first step, that chlorine is there. This chlorine acts on the ozone because in stratosphere, you know that the good ozone is present. So over here, this chlorine atom, when see, first of all, refrigerator and the air condition is there. From that, the CFC release. This CFC gas move upward, reach up to that stratosphere where good ozone is present. Over here, UV rays are coming from the sun rays. That UV rays reacts first with the CFC. So from that, the chlorine atom released. Now this chlorine atom reacts with this ozone and break down the ozone layer. It form the ClO plus chlorine oxide plus oxygen. Now this ClO further degrades the ozone, another ozone molecule, and form this again chlorine and the oxygen. This chlorine has the ability to further degrade the next new ozone molecule. So one molecule, we can say that even one molecule of this chlorine, it can degrade the millions of ozone molecules, right? Just one molecule. And nowadays, just imagine how, okay, in very high amount that this CFC released into the atmosphere. So CFC, one of the example is freon. HFC भी होता है, hydrofluorocarbon, another is CFC, right? Ultimately, remember, both released by the refrigerator and the that's the air conditioner as a cooling agent, reach to the stratosphere where UV rays are there. This in the stratosphere, by the UV with this UV rays acts on the ozone, acts on the first CFC, so it releases the chlorine. This chlorine acts on the ozone and degrade the ozone molecules. The chain is continued because chlorine, first step in that, this chlorine break down the ozone, convert into this chlorine oxide. Same, this one again break down the ozone and again form this pre-chlorine. Now it has the ability to further degrade the another molecule of ozone. So the chain will continue. So one molecule of chlorine, okay, that can, or one atom of chlorine that can degrade the millions of ozone molecules. Right? And due to this, this is the main reason, and due to this, the ozone layer get depleted. This is the reason that ozone layer get depleted, right? So ozone, when ozone layer get depleted, means that thickness get reduced, that we call the ozone hole. So large scale depletion of ozone over the Antarctic region caused by thinning of ozone hole. Ozone hole created on the Antarctic region. Now, next, UV radiations. Okay, some information regarding the UV radiations. Basically, three types of the UV radiations are there: UVA, UVB, and the UVC. UVA radiations, their wavelength is 320 to 390 nanometer. UVB 280 to 320 nanometer, and UVC that 100 to 280 nanometer. Right now, generally the longer one, okay, longer, that is the UV wave, that that are not as much harmful compared to the shorter wavelength of the UV radiation. So mainly, as you know, as you can see over here, that UVA has the longer wavelength compared to this two. So UVC, which is absorbed by the atmosphere, UVC is absorbed by the atmosphere. UVB, that cause damage, aging of skin, damage of skin cell, causes the skin cancer. UVB mainly affects, okay, UVB mainly affects the DNA. It will leads to mutation also. It causing the aging of skin. Then it damage the skin cells. Various type of skin cancers are formed due to this UVB radiation when it reach. Okay, see, if ozone layer is there, UV radiations are absorbed over there. But if ozone layer, that is the importance of ozone layer. That's why we call it acts as a shield, right? So UVB radiations, when reach cross that stratosphere, reach to the living organism, right? It can cause one of the disease that we call snow blindness. Snow blindness or the cataract can affect the eye, inflammation of cornea, that we call the snow blindness. High dose of UVB radiation, because human eye cornea part, right, cornea whitish color part of our eye, that is directly exposed towards that atmosphere, right? So it can easily absorb this UVB radiation. So high dose of UVB radiations causes inflammation of cornea, which we call snow blindness. In that, temporary pain hota hai, then discomfort in eye, that is the snow blindness. Then it will cause cataract, in Gujarati we call motio. Such exposure may permanently damage the cornea. So first, UVB radiations, remember, it can cause skin cancer, damage the skin cell, as well as cause snow blindness. These two lines are very important. Next, control of ozone depletion, right? जैसे बायोडाइवर्सिटी लास्ट चैप्टर में हमने लर्न किया था, ओके, टू सस्टेन द बायोडाइवर्सिटी. For that, the convention, different, that's the one type of meeting we can say that has organized in the past. Same. Okay. So control of ozone depletion. For that, the first time meeting was held in Montreal. Montreal, which is located in Canada. So international treaty known as Montreal Protocol was signed at Montreal, located in Canada, in 1987, effective in 1989. This protocol mainly to control the emission of ozone depleting substances. To control the emission of, that's the ozone depleting substances like the CFC, freon. Then other gases are there which also cause ozone depletion, methane gas, HFC, nitrogen oxides. These all, not only the CFC, these are other gases which also cause ozone depletion. Right? Subsequently, many more efforts have been made and protocols have laid down definite roadmaps separately for developed and developing countries. For which purpose? To reduce the emission of CFC and other ozone depleting chemicals. Other ozone depleting chemicals, these are nitrogen oxide, HFC, and methane. So ozone depletion in the stratosphere, in that, remember in this way, first, that's the ozone layer. Where is located the ozone layer? Right, particularly in the stratosphere, upper part of the atmosphere, we call stratosphere, 16 to 40 kilometer. Two types of the ozone, good ozone, bad ozone. Good ozone, which acts as a shield by absorbing the UV rays from the sun. Bad ozone, that that is actually formed, bad ozone that is actually formed our surrounding by that photochemical smoke and all that. See this picture over here, right? See here the bad ozone. This is the troposphere in our surrounding. So bad ozone is formed where the smoke is present. Then, so this much area for troposphere. Then stratosphere is there. Here the good ozone is present, right? Which acts as a protective ozone layer. Next, after that, ozone hole. See, this thing indicates the ozone hole. Generally, the thickness I have given that 100 to 300, sorry, 300 to 500. In this, we have learned that yes, 300 to 500 Dobson unit, that is the ozone hole thickness. But in Antarctica region, now the thickness that 220. Okay. Next, after that, thickness in polar region, how much? 0.4 centimeter, 0.29 centimeter at the equator. Right? Ozone hole over Antarctica develop each year. Each year, this hole is developed between August and October. Okay, late August and early October, between this duration, every year on Antarctica, this ozone hole is created. Right? Then ozone balance. Ozone gas continuously formed by the action of UV rays, right? But by the action of UV rays, see here, UV rays helps in ozone formation, UV rays also helps in ozone degradation. So both the process should be in balance. But due to the more production of this CFC, which actually causes the degradation of ozone, this degradation ratio is high compared to the formation, and that leads to the ozone hole formation. Because the degradation type of activity is more compared to the formation, so leads to ozone hole formation, and this one is formed over the Antarctica region. Then remember the radiations, three types: UVA, UVB, UVC. Longer UV radiations cannot harm as much compared to the shorter ones. So UVA that is not harmful for like that UVB in UVC. UVC absorbed by the atmosphere, UVB that reach to the living organism, interact with the DNA, cause the mutation, and it leads to the skin cancer. Even it affects the cornea, and that we call snow blindness. So for that, the meetings was held in past, started in 1987, that we call the first international meet, we call Montreal Protocol, was signed at the Montreal, Canada, for which purpose? To control the emission of ozone depleting substances, example CFC, nitrogen oxides, HFC, and methane. So this much you have to prepare for ozone depletion, right? Thank you.